Today I'm going to demonstrate a rudimentary example of skin meshing. Our models will each have 4 bones as seen in this image. This model has its own transformation matrix, and each bone has its own transformation matrix. Bone 0 is a child of the model. Bone 1 is a child of bone 0. Bone 2 is a child of bone 1, and bone 3 is a child of bone 2. This means that if I transform bone 1, bone 2 and 3 will also transform, but bone 0 and the model will not transform. I've also set the origin of each model and bone to be at the bottom of the bone or model. To get skin mesh working, I've given each vertex in the model a bone weight. This means that each vertex is affected by each bone by a fraction of its transformation matrix. Here are the bone weight curves for each region. The vertices in region 1, where bone 1 resides, are affected by bone 0 and bone 1. The vertices in region 1 are influenced by bone 0, by bone 1, and by bone 2. The vertices in region 2 are influenced by bone 1, bone 2, and bone 3. And the vertices in region 3 are influenced by bone 2 and bone 3. And here are the actual bone weights along the y-axis of the model. Okay, let's take a look at the demo. If you press B, you can toggle between wireframe and textured mode. As you can see, the bones are represented here as cones. You can toggle the drawing of the bones with the T key. Camera controls are Q and E for vertical motion, left and right arrow keys for orbital motion, and the up and down arrows for zooming motion. Now we want to be able to select either the model or one of the bones and manipulate them. You can select the model and the bones with the number keys 1 through 5. Let's draw the bones again by pressing T. So we can see what's going on, and I'll select the yellow bone by pressing 4. We can pitch the bone with the J and L keys. You can press R to reset. You can also change the yaw of the bone with the A and D keys. Well, let me select bone 4 there again, or bone 3. Notice how the mesh vertices change. The vertex positions and their normals are being updated in the vertex shader. By transforming the normals as well as the vertices, we can do proper lighting on the textures. We can also roll the bone with the I and K keys, similar to pitch. Now I'll pitch it and change the yaw. Let's see how that looks on texture. Pretty neat. Finally, we can move the bone back and forth with W and S. Whoops. So I selected the model there, so it was moving. Select the bone. Okay. So let's see a more complex application. Here we have a space octopus playing 8 bongos. You can specify the model and bone relationship in the scene JSON file and change the bone attributes in a cyclical manner. For example, I've set all the bones in each tentacle to change their pitch in the same way. For the head, I rotate the third bone here. So you can see you can see that it's rotating back and forth a little bit. And I move the fourth bone from side to side to give it a nice little dancing effect. For the drums, I quickly rotate the second bone back and forth about its yaw while moving the third bone up and down. So let's take a look at that. So this third green one is being moved along its yaw, and then the yellow one is moving up and down. So that's it for the demo. I encourage you to take a look at the scene file and see what interesting animations you can come up with. Cheers!